G'day mate, welcome to 2022 with me, Jedit. Yep, it's been a whole nother year and it's time to get a channel update video done. So, first off, I need to start with the parts and terms and conditions of my YouTube contract that I don't enjoy, and that is the part where I remind you to like the video if you haven't already liked it, and click the subscribe button. And I actually mean check to see whether you're subscribed, because I know a lot of you out there are not subscribed, so I invite you to take the 5 seconds to just scroll down a little bit and click the subscribe button. Look, I fully admit that I don't remind you guys often enough, so I'd appreciate it if you took the 5 seconds right now to double check. At the same time, if you're watching a channel update video on a gaming channel, you're probably heavily invested enough now that you should definitely be subscribed. Like, if you were sitting on the fence, that's definitely the point where you should definitely click the button. Anyway, with that out of the way, we can finally say goodbye to 2021, which I'm pretty sure I can say all around. Like, unless you happen to be in the pharmaceutical trade, and you happen to have a miracle cure vaccination for COVID, 2021 was a bad year all around. I know me personally, we had obviously human malware, which thankfully I managed to avoid, but did have extensive lockdowns for months on end, and having 4 kids at home with special needs and telling them they can't go out and can't see anybody and can't do anything was not a fun year. On top of that, unfortunately, I lost my grandmother and my father last year, and here we are many months later, that due to continuous lockdowns in various forms and fashions, we still haven't been able to lay either of their ashes to rest. But that's okay. That's 2021. We're not talking about that anymore. We're talking about 2022 and what's happening from now on. So, no, actually, we've still got more things to cover in 2021. So, normally every year I do what's known as the Great Doubling. Okay, at least those of you who've been following for long enough. Normally every year in February, which is when the channel started, the channel doubles in size, or at least I aim to have it double in size. So this will be 5 years, I believe, and it should hit 20,000 subscribers, and it's definitely not going to happen. And I blame that on a couple of things. One is definitely myself, with kids at home, odd recording schedules, videos going out that were probably not quite the quality I wanted, but some videos being recorded 3 or 4 times and then having to be re-recorded due to interruptions and other things. It left some quality to be desired in some videos. So that's definitely one reason. Another reason is I really wanted to get out more tutorial videos that I just didn't have time for last year. Now, they're all things I'm hoping to change in 2022. This is sort of my New Year's resolution at the same time. Hoping to do many, many more tutorial videos and definitely cover topics that I didn't have a chance to cover last year. So that's the first thing happening in 2022. The next thing I need to talk about, which is probably what you're most interested in, is what's on the channel right now, what's coming soon. So currently we have Factorio. We obviously have Factorio on a 45, which I was hoping was going to do better than it's actually been doing. I know it was a little bit of a straight out of left field, far left field series. And I know it set off some people's OCD, which were all things I was counting on, or expecting, be more exact, and it's sort of, yeah, it hit worse than I thought it would. The views are obviously not quite as well as I would like, but that's okay. That's okay. Look, the series is there. The series is great. I'm enjoying the series. It's definitely been a challenging series because I've had to rethink everything. And we're up to episode 23 currently, and we'll probably be done probably around about episode 30. So around about episode 30, roughly, series will be over, and then we'll probably be starting a new Factorio series right on the back of the existing one. Again, it'll be a different concept. It'll be something I haven't done before because I like doing new things, and I'm definitely hoping you would give the new series a shot, even if you didn't enjoy the existing series. The other one we're doing currently is Captain of Industry. Captain of Industry, I'm having a ball. I really enjoy the game. It has your automation Factorio elements in it. On top of that, it has some a little bit of city management and population management to make sure you have like food and workers and all that sort of stuff to keep your buildings running. And lastly, the thing that really makes it different is rather than Factorio, where you just like scrape the resources off the surface of the planet, or Satisfactory, where you just like dump down a big miner that just digs down forever and ever and ever and ever and never runs out. You have resources in the ground which you then need to dig up, and as you dig them up, you leave a giant hole behind. It is very, very, very different. And that's one of the reasons I'm really, really enjoying it. So, Captive Industry, we're going to be continuing that probably through to the end game, whatever the end game looks like. I don't actually know. I haven't played through the end game already, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. The next thing I want to talk about, which is, it's a big movement and it's a big change for me in 2022. Now, in 2021, I think it was due to the second year of COVID lockdowns and people just consuming a lot more material than what they would have in years prior. I had a couple of comments, comments from everybody from your brand new Joe Blow who just showed up on the channel and watched their first video. Everybody through to some other content creators that I know of that are lucky, and I will say lucky enough that they have a much larger channel with, 200, 300, 400,000 subscribers, and they purely live off sponsorships, okay? They get a sponsor for a video, 2 videos, 3 videos, whatever it happens to be, every month, and that is their main income. For me, a channel at 15,000 subscribers, who obviously, if I have the guys that are doing, have 200,000 subscribers, 300,000, 400,000, they're coming and watching my little channel, I'm obviously producing some good content. But I had comments about ads. I had comments about ads in 2021. And I think that's just down to, you have 3 ways of paying for everything on the internet. You have, number 1, you pay out of your pocket. Number 2, you pay with your time by watching adverts. We've all seen mobile games. We've all played mobile games. We've all seen the amount of ads they dump into them. Or there is an ad-free option if you want to pay for the ad-free option. The third way is the Facebook way, where you are the product and therefore everything is free. But YouTube, and at least on my channel, you're not the product. I'm the product, technically. So, yeah, I want to try something different in 2022. And what I want to do is I want to do ad-free 2022. Now, I need to explain this, and this is going to be semi-important to the way this works. Well, actually, critically important. So, I cannot run no ads in videos at all. Because due to my own testing and talking to other content creators, if you have no ads, then the YouTube algorithm doesn't actually recommend the videos, because YouTube doesn't make any money because you're not putting any ads on the videos, which at least YouTube takes 30% off. So we can't have no ads. So I'm going to have ads at the start of the video and ads at the end of the video. That's a confirm. Previously in 2021, if I did a 40-minute video, you'd probably find 2 ad breaks. Like one around about the 20-minute mark, one around about the 30-minute mark, maybe 15, maybe 30 minutes, like somewhere in that vicinity. On screen, Biter Battles, hour and a half long video, you'd probably have 2 ad breaks, okay? You'd probably have one around about 40-minute mark, one around about an hour and 20-minute mark, just to remind you to probably need to get up and stretch. Maybe go to the bathroom. I'm thinking about your health here. But, they're always going to be skippable ads. So you're just going to reach over and click the button if you really don't want to watch the whole ad. If you want to go to the bathroom, let the ad run, that's entirely up to you. Yeah, that was sort of my plan for 2021. But I did have people, like I said, make comments. And it was probably due to, them watching shorter form content where I'm doing a 10, 15, 20-minute tutorial video. And there's one ad break normally when I'm going from one topic in the tutorial to the next topic in the tutorial. So maybe that's where it came from. But what I want to try for the new year, for 2022, is I want to go ad-free 2022. Now, to do that, I need you guys' support. Because we're going to break it down in just a second, but let's be honest, most of my revenue from doing YouTube is from ads. Completely honest with you, that's where it mostly comes from. So, actually, let's talk about it really quickly. So, we can see I make 532 Australian dollary dues per month. Currently on the channel. For 121,000 views, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. So that's my ad breakdown roughly. If we go across the channel analytics and you can actually see the breakdown of the ads, you can see it's definitely on a downhill trend because on January 1st, I started doing this. I started dropping any ads during the video. So you still get one at the start, one at the end. The start one obviously runs sometimes, not all the time. Depends on what YouTube thinks you might want. Depends on how often you last watched an ad on YouTube. And the one at the end, let's be honest, it's after the credit rolls and everything else. It's if you're still there down the comment section, you can run an ad and it probably won't affect you. You're probably not going to scroll up and click skip just to get the window showing you 9 videos to watch next. But we can see my revenue sources down here. Most of it's ad revenue. There is a certain portion from YouTube Premium, which you may notice that I actually have myself. I enjoy YouTube Premium. I enjoy paying X dollars per month directly to YouTube, and I don't get any ads on any channel. And at the same time, my girlfriend, the kids, everybody else enjoys that benefit, and we don't get any ads whatsoever. Also, you know, I've got 4 kids. 4 kids with very varied tastes. Me paying for YouTube Premium and getting YouTube Music included has saved me a fortune in Spotify fees. The other option is my transaction revenue. So transaction revenue, I'm going to mention it really quickly, is if you come to the main page, you click the join button, you can, for $1 per month, support the channel. Okay, $1 per month, it's an Australian dollar dues, but for $1 US or $1 euro, you could support the channel and, you know, have an ad-free experience. Now, roughly, the way YouTube algorithm or the way YouTube works is roughly for every 1,000 views, it's worth $1. Roughly. Not exact. It varies channel to channel and how often people are running ads and all sorts of things, and also the time of the year, because obviously Christmas has higher ad revenue because more people are paying for ads because it's Christmas time and they want to sell their stuff for Christmas. But we all get the picture. We get the picture. It's roughly about $1 for 1,000 views. If you were to choose to support the channel via YouTube, and I'm just going to do the maths really quickly for YouTube, you would have to, at the end of 12 months, you pay $12 to YouTube, at which point I would get 70% of that, which is about $9, which is about 9,000 views from just you personally. 9,000 views on my channel is watching every video 27 times. 27 times. You'd have to load up every video. The minute I release the video, turn on the loop button, click play, let it run non-stop till the next video is released, and then do the same on the next video, obviously with ad blocker disabled, and watch every ad to get the same as $1 per month. Now, $1 per month is not a lot of money, and the reason I set it up so cheap is because, well, honestly, I'd really prefer it if I had many people kick in $1 rather than 2 or 3 people could kick in $20, because I'm pretty sure everybody can afford $1 a month. It is the equivalent of a chocolate bar every month, well, less than a chocolate bar, because chocolate bars got really expensive in the last 2 years, as long with everything else, or a cup of coffee every 3 months. Or look, if you do enjoy the content, you can go up to the lover of the content, which is the equivalent of like a cup of coffee every month. $5. $5 for a cup of coffee. It's about right. And you do get a certain amount of perks. You do get early access to new videos, so you can come across and join our Discord server and get early access to videos. You generally get them about 24 hours in advance, and it means that you get to double check that Jetty hasn't made any critical mistakes. You get to have the first comment on videos. You know, if you really like being first on a video, you can be first on potentially every video because you'll have access 24 hours before everybody else. So this is something I want to try out in 2022. I really like to go 100% ad-free and only have the first and the last one. But at the end of the day, if I'm making, hang on, let's go back to that one. If I'm making $532 per month, minus US taxes, minus Australian taxes, that is 532 Australian dollar dues, which is about 400 US, minus 2 lots of taxes, because the money is earned in the US, so the US tax department wants their cut, then the Australian tax department wants their cut. We can see that what I'm doing is not exactly it's not going to buy me that Lamborghini that every other YouTuber seems to own. It's something I want to try. I've heard people's comments. I really want to try this out. Having one ad break every 20 minutes is my next halfway go-to. So I'd have one ad break in the middle of a video, which if this doesn't work, that's probably my next option. So if you wish to support ad-free 2022, you can obviously come to the main channel, click the join button, get access to early access videos. You can also click on some of these buttons over here. You know, if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch subscription every month. You should definitely give that to your favorite content creator every month. You have to do it manually. And, you know, if you happen to visit your favorite content creator, Jenny, and decide to, you know, go across there and subscribe, it would be very, very much appreciated. Your other option, if you don't want to click the join button, if you don't want to have YouTube bill you every month, you can come across to Patreon. It starts off about $2 per month. The big advantage is there's technically a discount. I think it's 10% off if you choose an annual membership, and then you can just pay like $20 a year and just, that's it. I'm good, Jetty. I have no guilt now about running ad blocker or skipping every ad or anything like that, and you just, you know, do that. So that is the two big things I wanted to announce for the first half of the video. Second half of the video is a little bit of a doozy, and that's going to be, there are going to be no videos for next week. It's an important reason, but I spent last year, and this was probably also contributed to the lower than expected growth last year, is last year I had, like I said, lockdowns and all sorts of things on my plate. I also had a studio. I have, especially if you've been following over Discord or watching the last couple of channel update videos, I've been sort of covering how I've been converting my garage into a studio. And my garage was a 50-year-old structure and not terribly well kept. It was designed to park a car, and it wasn't really suitable for human living, or computers, or electrical, or many things. And one of the things I did during 2021 was I spent about 8 months of my time and all my own labor. That's not quite true. I spent 95% of my labor, because I did have the girlfriend help occasionally, and the children, when they felt like it, when I happened to be doing something they felt like helping with, because, yeah, like I said, kids with special needs, you go with the flow. It meant that I've spent the last 8 months or so working on a studio, which you may have noticed in the last week, there's a lack of cat combat in the background. There's no cats running through the scenes in the background. Put the plane filters into a tower, which, after a cat breaks a glass, yeah, cats are awesome. I don't know whether you guys heard that or not. That was definitely the sound of a cat probably jumping on a bench and checking out a glass that it is now in several pieces. Okay, there's no more traffic noise because since a week prior to Christmas, I've actually moved into the studio in like a temporary setup. It's actually one of the reasons there's no background music in this video, because I want you guys to hear this is how everything sounds in the studio, because I'm about to move out of the studio, and we're going to talk about why. As you can see, it was a very temporary setup in the studio. We may notice the lack of paint. That's probably the first glaring obvious thing in the new studio, along with the concrete floors, which are not perfect for acoustics, along with sort of minor thing, but there's no plaster mud on the walls covering up the screws or the join lines or anything like that, because I hadn't had a chance to get any of that done a week prior to Christmas. Because obviously with me working down here, everything that would normally live down here was living in the house. And with a week out from Christmas, my girlfriend sort of said to me she'd like it all removed from the house. Basically, I'd already decided it had to be removed. I had to move in, at least temporarily, because I wanted to try out the acoustics. And you may have noticed over the last 2 weeks as well that the mic might have sounded a little bit funny, occasionally being a little bit too harsh is probably the best way of putting it. And I think I've finally got it set up and running correctly. But yeah, there's been a couple of videos that I have noticed the audio's been less than par, because obviously new environment, new setup has required that the mic needs to be retweaked to get set up for the new environment. So I'm actually removing everything from this room on Monday coming, which, you know, I'm probably recording this video a little bit late. This is probably another reason why it doesn't have background music, but that's besides the point. I'm actually removing everything on Monday. Well, Sunday, Monday. Because I want to get the room cleaned out. My sister's actually going to come over and help me do all the plastering. And then as soon as that's done, which I've allocated not nearly enough time for, I then need to paint everything by myself because the girlfriend and the kids are actually all away. And then finally I need to have carpet installed, which hopefully is organized for Monday the week after. So hopefully by the 17th, everything is done. I can move back in. And then the monitors, the microphone arms, that sort of stuff that are currently clamped to the desk can actually be bolted through, and it means the small amount of spaghetti wires I have hanging out everywhere because it was a temporary setup can actually be attached to the table properly, and I can have a slightly neater setup, which means there will be photos in the not too distant future of what everything ends up looking like. But yes, you might notice, like I said, better sound isolation, much better. I'm very, very happy with how things have come out. It has taken me 8 months and a lot of time and a lot of patience and a lot of sweat and tears and headaches and everything to get done. Because yes, when we didn't have COVID lockdowns, I would be recording during the day, then building and renovating in the afternoon and evenings, and then editing till late hours at night. When we did have COVID lockdown, I was building in the afternoon, sleeping in the evenings, and recording in the wee hours of the night to then do more building first thing in the morning. It was not a fun 2021. Did I mention how fun 2021 was not? Anyway, if you're interested in like the build logs, because there were a number of build logs, you can always come over here, click on the Discord button right here, jump over our Discord channel. If you're already a YouTube member or a Patreon member, you can type in any channel !SL to find out how to access the Supporters Lounge, get early access to those videos as promised. At the same time, you can check out the Studio Build Log, or Studio Build Progress, I think it's called. I don't know. But yeah, plan is to remove everything. But it also means a couple of changes are going to happen in 2021. Or, well, 2022, rather. 2022. 2021, we're not talking about anymore. So 2022, I have, if you may have noticed over the last year or 2 years, 3 years, I've been playing a lot of short gameplay long videos. So they are things like Factorio, where I can keep the momentum running no matter what. I don't have to put in a cut and jump forward 5, 10 minutes, 3 hours, 4 hours, 15 seconds. I can generally keep the flow going, and we get a mostly raw cut of what actually happened in the game. But there are certain games I want to be able to go and look at. Like a number one that was heavily requested was obviously Satisfactory. Satisfactory is in the banner of the channel. I have done earlier Satisfactory series, but I haven't had a chance to really look at it in Update 5. I did go over and do a couple of streams over on Twitch, and we did spend 60, 70, 80 hours building out a whole base multiplayer on Twitch, dedicated servers, tested out all that sort of stuff. Found many, many interesting features of Satisfactory in dedicated servers, and I will probably do a follow-up video sort of covering that, but it's not something I could do on the YouTube channel. If you do want to watch those videos, you obviously missed them over on Twitch, you can click on the channels button, you can come over and look at JD Raw and Uncut. I recommend you go over there, you click the subscribe button because, I'm a YouTuber and it's written in my contract. On top of that, it's where you find live streams, okay? Anything I've done on Twitch ends up there and eventually. Maybe not always in a timely manner, but I'm fairly busy sort of person. And yes, you can go over there and you can check out past live streams. Like I said, I did do Satisfactory, which is hopefully there by about now, maybe not. But I also, we did a whole playthrough of Back 4 Blood with my girlfriend. I actually did a whole playthrough of Back 4 Blood with my girlfriend, multiplayer. It was a bunch of fun. There was maybe a little bit of colorful language from her mouth. It's really weird to hear it out of a lady's mouth, I know. But, she is Australian, I am Australian, so yeah, it was interesting. Very, very interesting to play with her and be able to actually stream that out live. So you will find that on the second channel if you want to go check it out. But it does mean, with the new studio, it means I can do some of the longer gameplay short videos that I want to do. So like Satisfactory is the number one game that comes to mind. Where you may, and I find lots of content creators that do Satisfactory do this, they do 8 hours worth of gameplay for a 20-minute video. Previously, I haven't had the opportunity to do that. I have not been able to lock away life for 8 hours straight and have undisturbed time to just record out 8 hours to then just chop it down to 20 minutes. It just didn't happen. I am hoping in this year we can definitely change that. I know with Oxygen Not Included, that was another game I did try it definitely with. And to start with, everything went fine, but as the game, as the base got larger, the gameplay got slower. The game was much slower to run. We went from 40 minutes worth of gameplay for 40 minutes worth of video to an hour and a half for 40 minutes to 2 hours for 40 minutes. And then at the point it was starting to get like 3 hours plus for a 40-minute video, it was just too much. And when it became too much, I had to unfortunately drop Oxygen Not Included. I could have optimized the computer because I know there are certain things I can do to the computer that would make Oxygen Not Included run better. The catch with that is it then unoptimizes all the other games that I'm running on the channel. So again, not something that I really got to experiment with too much. But I'm hoping during 2022, we can start doing those sorts of things. That's pretty much it for this channel update video. Unfortunately, didn't hit the goal of 20,000 subscribers. Not unless this video does really, really well, and 5,000 of you guys who watched the video weren't subscribed, you're going to click the subscribe button. New studio is done in a sort of way. Hopefully by the time things return to normal, we'll have carpet in, I'll have paint on the walls, it'll sound a little bit better with carpet on the floor, and then I can actually work on sound treating the room, because I know there's a little bit of reverb in here that I'd like to get rid of. But that's pretty much what we're up to. So, with all that said, I'm going to leave this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. And I'll see you in about a week. Alright, that's it. We're out. Thanks for watching. Bye.